And action. Okay. Okay, so I'm doing these mini interviews. I had this idea to just kind of interview other photographers in the community, more so just to get the energy flowing and show support and kind of hear about their stories. No big deal, real casual. I'm just going to go through my list of questions here. And today I have Miss Emily. And tell us a little bit about yourself, like your business name, what kind of photography you do, what's your vibe, what's your style. I know, and I love you. That's why I picked you.
Well, hi, I'm Emily, and I own Emily Isaacson Photography. Oh, hello, M on Instagram if you're into that thing.
Go follow her.
I do weddings and portraits and boudoir, primarily weddings though. And I would say my shooting style is fun, joyful movement, all sorts of crazy shenanigans. And my editing style is bright and colorful and fun.
100, like the most fun. Like you are so funny and hilarious, and I love following you. And everything you say, every story, I'm like, I have to comment, and then I'm like, I need to stop and like leave her alone because she's gonna think I'm a weirdo. But I just think you're so funny.
Please do.
And so fun. And you're like totally my child is bugging me. Oh, she's blowing bubbles and wants to show me. Totally my type of photographer because you bring in the whole element of fun and like how this doesn't have to be like some super stressful, rigid thing, and personality should show and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Aside from making money, because we're all got to make money, why do you like to do photography, or what kind of drew you to this line of work?
Yeah, well, I'm definitely a people person. I like to be surrounded by people. I like to make people laugh. So a lot of it's like the social aspect of just getting to meet so many different people. And then since I'm primarily doing weddings, people I hang out with, it's always like on the best day of their life. And I get to go to multiple of those, like sometimes multiple in a weekend. And I just think it's cool to be trusted to come into somebody's like family friend circle like that and be invited to see something like so private maybe. And I also just enjoy giving more of the experience of having your photo taken versus just getting pretty pictures. I mean, it's 2020. We can get pretty pictures on our iPhones. It's like so much more than that, especially because a lot of people haven't had their picture taken professionally since maybe their senior photos, if they even did that. Yep. And it's always does this look okay? Am I doing this right? Like that's what we think every time we take pictures. Yep. And I want that to completely like go away because there is no right. And of course it looks okay because it's you and you're in it. So just getting to create that kind of magic with people.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that.
That's really long answer.
No, that's perfect. And that's totally like the approach I take too. It's yes, definitely. Getting the nice pictures is like the thing that I need to do, and I can do that. We can stand there and like, you can smile. Like, oh, no problem. But like, I want to make sure you enjoy your time, and this can be super fun. Like, we can just go. When do you ever go run through the field barefoot and just like be a weirdo and you're gonna look at these pictures and remember like the funny things that you were doing and stuff. Yes. So yeah, 100%.
That's why we're kindred spirits. You and I.
We're on the same page with that for sure.
Oh, for sure.
If you could travel back in time to your first year of wanting to run your business, like looking back, what would you tell your little baby self? What like one piece of advice would you tell her to like make that time easier?
Good question. There's a lot. I would say, first of all, be patient. It's very easy to get caught up in what other people are doing. And especially if you play the game of like, they're younger than me, or they haven't been doing it as long as me, or how are they already like charging this much, or why aren't they charging enough? When it's really just like, be patient and look in and do you, because that's going to make you a generally happier person, and that should draw more people into you.
Yep,
And I think
totally.
it's even harder in like, if I was just starting this in 2020 versus when I started back in 2015, I think it's even harder now
I agree.
because of how much more social media and everything is there. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, be patient with yourself, be gentle with yourself, be kind to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the business side of things, I would say take a fucking business class.
Yes.
Period.
I know.
I had no help from anybody, and I didn't even quite know the questions to ask. And
Yes.
I'm still learning that.
Yep.
And I think us as creative people, we love the creative side of our business, but the actual management, and when
Mm-hmm.
you're realizing like, oh wow, this is actually how I'm supporting myself. This is not a hobby. This is not a side gig
Mm-hmm.
anymore. Like, yeah, take a fucking class, man.
Seriously, and I'm so as I'm making this like education course that I'm doing, that's the thought that keeps popping in my head. It's like when you're starting out, you don't even know what you need to know. Like, and as you go along, you're like, oh, I need to know. I didn't know that. I didn't know I would needed to know that. So
Yeah.
taking a class like that would have been so helpful. I mean, I
Mhm.
went to college. Went to college for photography, so I have a degree.
Same.
I did
Same.
take class. Oh, you did? Okay. Did I know
Yeah.
that? I probably knew that and just forgot.
Yeah.
Story of my life. But then again, I graduated in 2009 and so much changed. Like YouTube was just starting, but now it's
Yep.
huge. And I didn't really start making this a business until like 2014-ish. So like 5 years went by and everything changed and I didn't remember anything. And
Right.
I did take a class, a 1-day class from my friend Natalie, and that 1-day class just like helped so much more than my 4-year degree
Yeah.
did. Hate to say that,
Isn't it
but
weird how things like that work out?
yeah, but that's exactly why I'm making my own version of a
Mhm.
class like that, because I just want people to not waste so much time and money and resources trying to figure
Yeah.
shit out. I just want to
Yeah.
like, let's get there. Come on, let's get it over with. Because then it just, you get to making money and living your dream life faster.
Oh yeah.
So that kind of answers my next question, because like it was like, what kind of resources would have been helpful? A business class. What resources have been helpful? Probably learning more about business.
Yeah, and I think
Dad.
as well, just other people, other photographers.
Mm-hmm.
Like I kind of jumped in being the only one of my friends to do this, the only one in my like really small town
Mm-hmm.
that was like doing what I was doing, and I wish I would have reached out to more people.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually worked for a photographer in high school. You know her, actually. You shot her, Amy Zelmer.
Yes, I
Yes.
waitressed with Amy.
Yes. Okay. I was
And
wondering how
then
you
and I'm
knew
still
her.
in touch with her. Yep. And she
Yeah,
mentioned that too, and I was like, the world is just so small.
I know, right?
Hi,
So
Amy.
yes. So that was cool to see. I did more like assisting work. So I wish I would have reached out to more people to do more like actual second shooting.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just kind of dove right into weddings with my one camera, like no backup equipment, just
Doesn't it like
balls to the wall.
when you think back on it, doesn't it kind of like make, it's kind of like when you think back on being a teenager and the things that you did and you're like, dear God, how did I not
Yeah.
die?
I would just leave memory cards out like on the floor.
Yes.
Like, I don't care.
My Nikon, it was whatever the Canon Rebel is, but the Nikon version, and that's all I had, and like the kit lens, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm just so grateful people like gave me a chance.
Yes, we all need those people.
Yeah. But yeah, and I've always said that too, like the second shooting and the shadowing work, I've learned so much more from that than any college degree could ever give you. Just the real life
or like
hands-on
anything that you can read
experience.
in a book. Like,
No, yeah, because
have to
there's
just
just
do it.
Yep, you have to do it, feel it, be there, feel the energy of it. Totally. What is the most rewarding part about being a photographer business owner?
Well, how much time do you have? There's so much. I would say, first of all, just the excitement of like a gallery delivery day and like sending it off, especially if they say something back.
Mm-hmm.
Side note, clients always say something.
Yes, at
back,
least something
please.
that I'm not like,
I'm
did you
sitting there
even
just
get
like
it? Yes. Like, I just worked so hard on this, and then you don't hear anything. You're like, okay.
Yes. But I also think another rewarding piece is like, I always grew up never wanting to like hate my job. Like I never wanted to be that like, oh, back to the grindstone, like gotta get going,
Yeah.
sort of mentality. So I think the most rewarding part for me is being able to do something that like brings me so much joy, but then also, oh, I get money and like I can buy all that shit from Target because I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Yep. 100%. Like that was always I've never had a Monday through Friday 9 to 5 job. I've always had just like different kind of jobs that plugged into here and there and that were flexible and fluid, um and that's just kind of who I am. But yeah, this industry is beautiful because you can make it what you want. You can have the 9 to 5 job if that's really what you want, and then you can also do this
and if you're good at it, or it's something that like you like do really enjoy. So no, I completely agree.
So what was the most rewarding? What's the most challenging? And there's a lot of things that are challenging, but you can narrow it down a little bit. Okay, yes. That's it.
Like fucking taxes.
Yep.
And again, the business side of things. I think it's really cool now that there are so many apps out there that you can subscribe to that do a lot of management for you.
Yep.
Like managing contracts, payments, all of that. Where you know, when I had started out, none of those things existed.
Nope, paper copies.
So it's really
cool that
there are apps out there that can help. Yeah. But yeah, just wrapping your mind around where your money is going back into your business and figuring out and really sitting down and saying like, how much do I want to make a year? And like doing all that math. Ugh. Yeah. But it's going to be worth it.
Yeah. Mommy. I'll be done soon. Say hi.
Where are your keys?
Why don't you go look in my...
look at kitty cat ears.
Yes, we're all about cats over here.
Love it.
Can you give me 5 more minutes?
No.
Can you go look in a sweatshirt pocket or my vest pocket?
Charlotte, do you want to see my puppy?
Okay, go do that. Oh, she's got a puppy. You want to see? I'm going to unplug my headphones really quick. Oh, he's a... Oh my gosh. He is so cute. What kind of a dog is that? Because he's got short legs. Is he
a golden doodle, but he's like a first generation golden doodle. Like his mom was a golden and his dad's a poodle.
Okay.
So he's not going to be like ultra curly.
Okay.
But yeah, he's got kind of short legs, but he's thick.
Oh, he's just a little roly-poly. Oh my God.
This is Kevin, my little baby.
So cute.
He's like, get off of me.
Cutest. Kevin. Okay, kiddo, you go find my keys. Just edit that part out.
Yep. You can splice.
If you could change anything about like the industry, the way the industry is right now, what would you change or what would you want to see improve?
I would say more workshops or styled shoots around real weddings. Because it's so fun to have some, you know, model couple in beautiful clothing on the edge of a mountain at sunset. But at that point, there's not really much learning happening because you're going to get good pictures of that.
Yes.
And if you do 80% of your weddings in a church, there's not necessarily a good resource out there right now of like, how do you shoot in a church? Or like, what sort of lighting setups should you be using? So I wish there were more resources out there for that. If that
is brilliant. I never really thought about that.
Mom.
Go.
But Mom.
Well, honey. Oh, you found it.
Is it okay if me and Lily, like, in a couple minutes, like, she bikes in the road?
You need to be on our sidewalk and not go past Sally's house.
Okay.
Not in the street.
Why not?
Because I'm not out there. I'll be out there in just a few minutes. Sorry. That is brilliant, and actually not something I ever really thought about before, and such a good point, because a lot of those style shoots are like portfolio building, and everything is beautiful. You get beautiful flowers, beautiful people, beautiful dress, beautiful location. So no matter what you do, unless you're like way over or underexposing, the photos are going to be cool and awesome. Yeah. But as far as like doing a shoot like that to learn, like a mock wedding where you're in a church where the lighting is hideous, and the priest is grumpy, and you can only go so far up the aisle, and you got people staring at you, and like all, or even like different
getting ready like spaces.
Like
not everybody is in the hotel room with floor to ceiling windows. Like most people are at their grandma's house.
Yep, and they got clutter and stuff. That's such a good, like, the wheels are turning now, because that's something that would be super beneficial. Maybe we can collab and create that for people. I'm just saying.
Ooh, I like it.
Throwing that out there. So let's see, where was I with my questions? If you could give a client a piece of advice before their session or wedding, and I think you kind of talked about this at the beginning, like, what would you say to them?
I would say let go and trust in the process.
Yeah.
The let go part just has to do with the trust of knowing that, like, we want to create the best work for our clients, but in order to do that, they have to kind of give us a piece of them as well. And, you know, anytime I'm shooting, I am not there to, like, I'm not there for myself. I'm there for my clients. So there's nothing that they could do wrong during a shoot, or the amount of emails I get that say, I'm not photogenic, we don't like to have pictures taken, like, oh, can you make me thinner? Like, all of that, we're just programmed to think about photography in our brains. So I would say trust in the process. Even if I have you do something crazy, like make monkey sounds at each other, like there's a goal in mind, not just you looking like an ass, because I'm good enough, you know, at that by myself. I don't need anybody else to do it. So yeah, trust in the process and give that little piece of yourself back to your photographer, because they're giving so much to you as well.
100%. Yes. And I get all those same, like, we don't know what to do. What do I do with my hands? And
every email.
Yeah. And then when we're shooting, I'll explain, like, okay, do this. And they'll kind of be like, and like, I have an idea. Like, just if you do it, then it like works. I know it's the result. It's not the you laughing, the fake laughing. It's the fact that you're going to fake laugh and feel stupid, and then you really start to laugh.
Well, that's the difference of like posing versus directing.
Yep.
Posing is what models do. Directing is what real people are better at.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're better 100%. At receiving.
Yep. And then last question I have is, so let's say you wake up tomorrow and the world has been restored to normal, because we are in amidst COVID season right now, May 2020. The world has been restored to exactly the way it was before all this, but we have the experience of what we just went through. What is like the first thing you'd want to do? First activity, thing, place, whatever.
Go to a restaurant and have somebody else cook my food.
Yes. Okay.
I never realized until I couldn't go that going to restaurants was legit probably my favorite activity.
Yep. And how much you spend on it?
So no, Minneapolis has a great food scene. All sorts of great places have popped up. So I just wish I could go eat incredible tasting menus and live my best life.
Yep. And then one last question pertaining to that. Like, what is one thing, aspect, whatever, that has come about now during quarantine that you wouldn't want to be returned to normal? Like, what has happened over the last few months that you're like, okay, we could keep it doing it this way, if anything?
Yeah. I would say the amount of time I get to spend with my partner, because we're both working from home. And of course that can like drive people insane as well. And it's definitely driven us insane, but it is kind of cool to like wake up in the morning, start the day, and just have each other.
Yeah, totally. Yay. And then that's it. We did it. That was fun.
Cool.
Everyone's gonna be super excited to watch us.
Yeah.
We're gonna be instant
famous. Need anything else from me?
Nope, I think that's it. I'm gonna hit pause on the recording. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Bye.